In this video, I'm going to show you how to use blending modes to change the color of an image. Even though I've used the blending modes in the drop-down in previous videos, I've never really talked too much about it, or why they're divided into three levels. Here we have an image of a tiger. The first thing I need to do is to remove the color in this image so I can have a black and white image. Sometimes the first thing you have to do is to remove the background, but since the background is so light, in this case it won't be necessary. Not gonna lie, I chose a picture with a light background just for this reason. Okay, so the first adjustment layer I need to apply is a black and white adjustment, because what we want to do is we want to get rid of all the color and then we'll just have the blacks and the whites. Okay, so we've applied the black and white adjustment layer. Now I'm going to try to adjust these like I want to. What I want is as much definition as I can get. I didn't point this out in the original picture, but this picture was kind of blurred on the side. That makes a little bit of difference, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's see what happens if we do this. Mainly, I just want to adjust my reds. So once I adjust the reds, then I'll just close it, and then I have that part of the tiger. Now what I need to do is to take this black and white adjustment layer and pull it so that it is nested in our tiger layer like that. Okay, see how it's nested in there? Okay, so then the next thing we need to do is to go back to adjustments again and then select threshold. Now notice it automatically tries to guess what you want, but there is a slider down here where if you go this way it's going to remove the blacks and go this way it's going to add the blacks in. I want to get as much of my blacks in there without making my picture look, well, too weird, because I still want to keep the detail, but I want to get as many blacks in there as I can. Sometimes I have a bad habit of putting too much black in there, and that will be bad because see how this black is on the outside of the dots, and we really want to get some color in the dots, but we also would like to have some detail over here. So, you're not going to get a perfect picture, but we're going to get it as close as we can. Okay, now that we have that, then I will close the threshold and do what I did before. I'll take this threshold adjustment and move it to where it's nested inside our tiger layer. Okay, now that I've done that, what we're going to need to do is to click on this tiger layer, and then I'm going to right click on this layer and choose rasterize. Now, why am I choosing rasterize? Well, one thing, it turns them into all one layer that's rasterized. And another thing is, even though the tiger layer was an image and it was a rasterized image, the adjustments weren't that. And we want to have all one layer and we want it rasterized. Now, where does the color come in? Well, the last thing I need to do is to go to File and Place, and then this is the background, the abstract art background that I'm going to use, and I'm going to open and then pull this until it completely covers our tiger, and hopefully my mouse won't run away. Okay, so we have that like that. Now, I know it's covered up right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to use the blending modes to blend these two layers together. So right here, notice, and I've never pointed this out before, that the blending modes are divided into three different levels. You have this level, you have this level, and you have this level. Okay, the level that we're going to go to is this second level down here, because what it will do is to add color to any of the black places that you have. Okay, so let's take a look up. We're not going to use this, but let's take a look at what this does. This does blend the color in there, and sometimes you might want this if you want to make some kind of artwork where the black isn't really absorbed. We'll take a look at that later. So here's darken, multiply, color burn. Well, that just looks weird. Linear and darker color, but we're not going to do that. What we want is we want a tiger where all the black in the tiger is changed to color. So that's where this second level comes in. And so we have right here, lighten, screen, color dodge. Well, that's kind of useless. That doesn't give us what we want. Add, and lighter color. Okay, so all we have to do is to get the one that we like the best. And quite honestly, I like lighter color the best, so I'm going to pick that one. So now we have our new piece of artwork. The black parts of the tiger have absorbed the color in the overlay, giving you a cool new image. So give this a shot using your own photos, or you can get them from pixabay.com. That's where I got this one. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can stay tuned for future videos. Check out my Buy Me a Coffee website for my latest post by clicking on the link in the video description or the channel description.